If there is one thing that connects people around the world, it's a love of food. Almost no one knows that better than Atlas Obscura, the company behind travel guides to fascinating places. Their new book is called Gastro Obscura, a food adventurer's guide. It highlights everything from food that is naturally hallucinogenic to why we have giant sloths to thank for avocados, and the reason why single men in Denmark get doused with spices on their birthdays. So we wanted to hunt down some answers in a food tour around New York City.
Within its pages, Gastro Obscura reveals more than 500 food facts. That inspired a food journey of my own. Highlands Pad Thai is one of the most recognized meals on the planet, but it wouldn't even exist if it were not for a dictator. In 1939, Field Marshal Plek People-Sangram wanted to promote Thai culture and move people away from consuming rice, which was seen as Chinese. So he invented Pad Thai. Some foods require more of a hike. The Haushan Tea House is on top of Mount Hua, one of the most sacred peaks in China. To earn this cup of tea, be prepared to make a dangerous 7,000-foot trek across a thin ledge and then no ledge at all. And those who make it to the top say that cup of tea is, quote, the most satisfying they've ever had.
Now, this cup of tea doesn't require a death-defying trek, but it's still pretty delicious.
If you're more of a coffee person, pack your bags for Ethiopia. High in the mountains, you'll find the East African country's wild coffee forests. The highly sensitive Arabica bean is at high risk of extinction because of climate change. These are some of the last wild coffee plants in the world. But if that's not rare enough for you, how far would you travel for threads of God? It takes a 20-mile trek in Italy's Sardinia during the Feast of San Francisco to get your hands on what may be the rarest noodle in the world. Only 3 women from one family know how to make this extremely thin pasta called su filindeu. Many have tried and failed to recreate these delicately exquisite noodles. For those who want a bang in each bite, Taiwan is the place to go. Only on moonless nights, fishermen head out into the Pacific to firefish. That's right, they set off explosives in the water, which creates a light, attracting thousands of sardines. But why go fishing when the fish can come to you? 124 miles from the ocean is Yoro, Honduras. Its first major rainfall of the spring brings thunder, lightning, and fish? The lluvia de peces, or rain of fish, fills the streets with the still living creatures. Fresh fish for the taking. To toast our journey around the world,
Champagne. Bet you didn't know that this used to be considered a performance enhancer. They even guzzled the bubbly during a marathon at the 1908 London Olympics. I won't be doing that because we know better, and also because I'm probably gonna have another. Tough assignment, I know. Dylan Thuras, the co-founder of Atlas Obscura and the co-author of Gastro Obscura, joins us now. Welcome. Good morning.
Hi, Thanks for having me here.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. Well,
So let's talk about this Atlas Obscura and the team. How did you find all these stories? Because you go all over the world.
Yeah, so both Atlas Obscura and Gastro Obscura work in the same way, which is we started both as a way of telling incredible hidden stories around the world, sort of unsung wonders. And in both cases, we reached out to the community and basically said, tell us about the most interesting stories near you. In this case, it's all about what are the most interesting food stories, drink stories, restaurants. And so that's how it started. This has been a book 4 years in the making. And so people sent in stuff. And then my co-author Cecily and I, so half the entries come from there, and then about half come from Cecily and I exploring the world and finding things to add. Yeah.
Vlad, could I just say something about unsung wonders like lime-cured bull testicles? No, thank you. Big-ass ants Peru? No, thank you. Stuffed camel spleen. And we want to taste that. Why, Dylan?
Let me explain. let me explain something to you. So I don't know where all of you are from, but I grew up in Minnesota.
Connecticut.
I grew up in Minnesota eating Lutefisk. I'm Scandinavian, so Lutefisk is like dried fish that's then soaked in lye. There's a period where it's poisonous. It would murder you if you ate it. But they wash out the lye and then you eat it. And this is extremely popular in the upper Midwest and sort of Scandinavian areas. The point I'm saying is that basically what is unusual, what is strange, is fully relative to where you're from. So, like, we as Americans eat an enormous amount of cheese. Much of the world finds this extremely disturbing.
And they think we smell like cheese.
Yes, exactly. And so this is kind of the point, is that it's all from where you stand. What is interesting, what is unusual, what is
different.
So, Gayle, show the book, because it's a gorgeous book.
Yeah,
It is beautiful. Love
and
it.
I guess
It's beautifully done.
what you've got marked there is what you're going to try or what you will never try.
A little bit of both.
Yeah,
A lot of tabs right there.
It's a lot of tabs, but you've got a beautiful picture of a wedding bread that I thought was one of the prettiest things I've ever seen.
Ukrainian wedding bread,
Yes.
beautiful, intricate, stamped with this special kind of form. Yeah, you want the best looking bread possible on your wedding, of course.
So, Dylan, how would you say people should use that book? Because it's kind of big for walking around in a backpack.
It's not necessarily a little travel book. I think there's two ways. One is as a kind of piece of armchair travel. So you can open this book to anywhere, any page, and just step into another little piece of the world and get a sense of their food traditions, their special flavors, the things that are really local to that place. And then it's also great to check it when you're traveling and see, maybe there's something I want to try while I'm here.
Yeah, it immediately became one of our favorite books. My wife and I, we travel because of food and culture, so it's perfect. What story
And
left
you
an
cook,
imprint on
Nate.
you?
You
A little bit.
you
I
guys-
do a little something.
All right.
And I'll try some of that stuff. I'm not like Gayle. I'll try it once.
The bull testicles, you ready?
There's right. Yeah.
Those
No.
are supposed to be an aphrodisiac,
Nate
so
actually
go
cooked.
slow. You're
He doesn't
supposed
need
to take it easy. Take it
I don't
easy.
need any
He
more
writes
kids.
love, he writes love poetry. He doesn't need any help in that department.
So what story left an imprint on you out of all of these?
You know, it's interesting. There are the ones that are obviously surprising, and then the ones that you're familiar with, but you don't know the backstory of. So in this book, actually, we have an entry on pad thai. And no one is going to be, we've all eaten pad thai, almost certainly. But one of the things people might not realize is that it was kind of an invented dish. It was in the 30s, the then kind of ruler of Thailand wanted to create a new state and said, okay, we need a national dish. He basically invented pad thai because it was something he grew up eating at home and said, this is now going to be
Dylan,
the national dish of Thailand.
You're
Yeah.
telling me we have to go to the berries.
We have to try
Okay,
these
yes,
berries.
we should do it. This is great. This is actually
This is the one I had in the green room,
Okay,
right?
don't chew these. There's a seed
all
in
right.
them.
Okay, all
No,
right.
you just watch out not to eat
So
the
how
seed.
are you supposed to eat them if you're not supposed to chew them?
No, you chew the berry, but just watch out for the seed in the middle.
Oh,
You can
But
spit the
it's- but
seed
it's
out, or the
supposed to
seed's
make
not
sour
poisonous.
things sweet.
Yes,
That's the
these are
main
from
thing.
West Africa, and they're used, people eat them before drinking sour wine or eating sour bread, and they'll turn these lemons into kind of almost like a candy tasting treat. So it's
Okay, don't bite them.
they're called miracle berries. They're called miracle berries, and they.
Miracle berry.
See, I lived in West
I'm being told
Africa.
I gotta try the lemon.
I never had these.
Okay.
These are, try a little lemon with this.
Results vary.
Give it.
Tastes like a lemon drop.
You might need.
You're right.
It takes a little time. It's
not
sour,
sour.
but it should take a lot
working
of the
for you?
sourness away.
It's working.
I'm with you, Tony. Results berry.
Delicious.
But this is a fun book. though.
Results vary, but the book is consistently good. Dylan, thank
Nice
you very
job.
much. Dylan
Hey,
Thuras
thanks for having
of
me.
Gastro
Pleasure to be
Obscura,
here.
Food Adventurer's Guide. It's on sale now. We'll be right back.
Yes,
There's
we
the
will.
book. It's a
Oh, it
beauty.
is sweet at the end. It is sweet.
There you go. You got it.
It